Okay, so we are going to take the taillights off and we are going to tint them. So to access them, you're going to come in right here. You'll see this little panel and you need a pry tool. I'm gonna pop this off. And then you're going to need a 10mm socket to remove the bolts. Alright, now that we took the bolts off, we need to disconnect this. And then I don't think this has ever came off before, so you're just going to pull one hand here, and gently wiggle it off.
You gotta wiggle this thing. It's never been off before. It gets really stuck. So grab it from the sides here and just kind of wiggle it until it loosens. Okay, then you want to put your hand here and you want to pull it straight back. Because the more you yank on it this way, the more you could stretch the edge. So try to pull this way from the top. There you go. Now you can get your hands in the back and the front. Just rock it. Yep. Just pull straight back. Perfect. Okay, so once you get the tail light out, you'll want to spray it with some glass cleaner. Just get it clean, and then we'll start the prep.
All right, after Jake cleaned them with window cleaner, you're going to take painter's tape and tape all the plastic parts because you don't want it all over that.
Okay, so the way we have these set up is I kind of have them hanging off the edge. That way the table or the paper isn't touching the actual taillight. And then I taped them down just so that these don't go anywhere in case we bump the table. And then so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with one last good spray of glass cleaner. You want to make sure there's no streaks, no oils, anything like that the paint won't stick to. So we're going to hit these real quick. I'm doing my truck as well. And then we'll show you the painting process. And I'm wearing gloves just because I don't want to get any oils from my hands or fingers on there. There's a deep crevice in here that you want to make sure you get in. And the cleaner you can get this, the better the paint will stick and everything on this. So is what we have here. It's VHT Nightshades. You can get it on Amazon. It's hard to find in stores nowadays because it's technically for off-road use only. I will say that now. And it's about 22 bucks at O'Reilly's. It's about the same on Amazon. But what you want to do is very light coats to start. And so I'm going to go around the border first and then just dust this real quick. If you look at this one, we did a practice run on that. You can see it's very lightly done. So just go around your edges. I'm holding about maybe 1.5 feet away and just quick. And then you just want to make sure you hit all your underneath the corners all the way around the taillight, and then just methodically, however you can, just kind of hit it. It is a little bit harder when it's flat, but for your first coat, just like that. If you got a taillight like my truck has, it's a little bit easier to hit. So you just go around. I got to clean it a little bit better, but I'll go around the edges and then I'll just hit it like this. I'm gonna hit the edges. It's real important that you hit all the edges that way because you're gonna see some of those on the car, the truck. I'm just going real quick. And okay, and then just a couple light, just real quick. I mean, it barely changes color. It's slightly darker now. They say 2 to 3 coats, so we'll go to 2 coats, see how that looks, and then we'll probably end up going 3, if not 4 coats. Okay, so there's not really any instructions on how long to wait in between coats on the can. But you know, 5-10 minutes is good. It took us about that time to get all 4 taillights. So I'm gonna hit it again. I'm gonna do the same exact thing. I'm gonna hit the corners first. Moving kind of quickly. Okay, and then I'm just gonna tackle it. I think it's gonna be easier to tackle it this way just because the way of the curve, and just follow the shape of the taillight. As you can already see, it's starting to change colors. So that's 2 light coats right there. This tip is a little dirty, I just wipe it off. And the same thing, I'm going to hit it the same exact way I hit the other one. Okay, that's what 2 coats looks like. So this 3rd coat we're going to do a little bit wetter. If you look at this tail light, I'm going to call it a 3+1 coat. I hit it kind of a little bit slower, so it got a little wetter. I had a really dark spot right here, so then I went over the whole thing in a different direction. So that's what we're gonna do here. We're gonna hit the edges again. Okay. Boom, then I came at it like this, slowed down a little bit, so that it goes on a little bit wetter. And I've been going the same direction I went on the other 2 coats. And it's a little bit darker right here. So now I'm gonna hit it in a different direction. So I'm gonna come this way, and this is gonna be my 3+1, and it's gonna make it a really wet coat. And it'll darken it up a little bit. And then I just kind of hit this spot, and that's my 3+1 coat.
I'm also going to tint my brake light. So these are just held on by some regular little screws. A Phillips head will do just fine. Just like that, and then I'll take the other one out. Okay, after you get the screws out, then you'll have this little adapter and you just unhook it. And then it comes right off. So then I'll clean this with some window cleaner and then start tinting it.
So I do this extra step. Most people don't, but I add a gloss clear coat to it. It makes it a lot nicer and gives it a shiny finish versus a matte finish. I've never used a Duplicolor before. I used in the past a VHT clear, but they didn't have any in the store, so I'm trying this out. I'm gonna do it the exact same way. I'm gonna do more of a medium coat versus light coats, and I'm gonna do 2 medium coats and then 1 very wet coat. So same thing, just hit all your edges. And just this cap has not been treating me very well.
All right, so we let the taillights dry overnight in the garage and then we put them back on. This is the finished product. They look really good. Here's the little brake light. All right, so I'm gonna have my daughter press on the brakes. That's what they look like with the brakes pressed on, and then turn on the blinker. And then that's what they look like with the blinker on. They look really cool at night too. All right, I wanted to show you guys what they looked like at night. So this is without pushing the brakes right now. That one's still off. All right, Jaden, go ahead and push on the brakes. So then that's what they look like with them pushed on. Looks really good. Okay, Jaden, now go ahead and turn on the blinker. So then that's what it's gonna look like with the blinkers on. And the other one, Jaden. So they look really good and they're very bright at night. And then this one obviously doesn't do anything. So they're kind of hard to see during the day. We might have put too many coats on. Jake ended up putting like 5 coats on. So maybe try 4 coats. All right, Jake just cleaned them with some window cleaner real quick. And then after we did that, I see how this YouTube channel is going to work out. I did that already.
I said I showed that.
You didn't tell me I was recording. You were recording.
Right, you busted the door open and started talking.
And go.